What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So two things crossed my mind this week that I thought were of significance to this video. One being Planet Coaster, the other being the Axis prototype at S&S Worldwide. Now, I know at first this may not seem like it has anything to do with anything, but here's kind of why I brought it up. In the program Planet Coaster, which if you're unfamiliar with is a video game that allows its users to create theme parks, but more importantly roller coasters, there's a function that allows you to switch trains and coaster types out, as well as other things, that allows the player to create some pretty cool and unique concepts that wouldn't be otherwise seen in the real world. In this case, I've been recreating an Aero Corkscrew coaster for the fun of it, and decided it'd be interesting to throw a compressed air launch on the thing and just see what that would look like. Well, obviously the idea was pretty cool, but quite frankly super unrealistic, so I knew such a thing didn't and couldn't even exist, and even the thought of it was just ridiculous. That is until it did. Wait, what? Yeah, a compressed air launched corkscrew coaster did in fact exist, and I'm here to cover it in today's video. And actually, it was thanks to someone in the Discord server that I announced last time that actually sent me real photos of the coaster proving that it did in fact exist because only limited information was available on the database. Still though, very little is known about this coaster, hence the reason this video is so short, but regardless, I'm gonna do my best to bring you guys an overall gist of it, so hopefully this will do just that. Anyways, without any more stalling, now is the time you've all been waiting for. This is the story of one of the weirdest and most mysterious coasters on Earth, Happy City's unknown compressed air-launched corkscrew coaster. Constructed sometime in 2013, Happy City's unknown launched coaster, designed by Chinese manufacturer Seimico, was a knockoff between Aerodynamics' early corkscrew models and various other companies. It would allegedly operate up until 2017, though it may as well have never operated at all because of how rarely it actually was open due to the complexity of its systems. However, before I discuss that, we should first take a look at the manufacturer itself, Seimico, to see where it came from. Seimico, otherwise known as Shanghai Amusement Machine Engineering Company, is one of the oldest amusement attraction manufacturers in China, and in fact produced the first original Chinese roller coaster back in 1989. Since then, they have successfully produced 22 verified roller coasters as well, though they're better known for their flat rides, and the last time a coaster was installed from them was back in 2016. Regardless, these 22 proved to sometimes be quite unique in their own way, and the second to last installation made by them, also the topic of today's video, would be one of 12 coasters ever to feature a compressed air launch worldwide. Unless you want to count that backyard coaster in Axis, then technically 14. Still, pretty dang cool and quite complicated, so how did they pull it off? Well, to start, a lot of design and testing was required, which initially resulted in trains nearly flying off the top of the hill after the compressed air launch was way more forceful than anticipated. In fact, this launch was so forceful, it happened in only 2 seconds, and the hill it flew over was only stated by the manufacturer to be approximately 80 feet, or just 24 meters in height. In response to this, and many replaced wheel assemblies later, a series of friction brakes were then placed on the equivalent of the chain lift portion of the ride, directly following this launch section, and can be seen in this photo here. This allowed the coaster to more or less smoothly crest the top, while still providing enough adrenaline from the prior launch. However, it still suffered from mechanical issues with the compressed air element, and it saw a lot of downtime in its supposed years of initial operation. Luckily, fast forward to roughly 2015, and that launch was indeed fixed, with the coaster being technically fully operational, but one more problem arose: those dang friction brakes. They became rendered essentially useless after the coaster was operating from that fixed launch. The upkeep of them became extremely costly, and once again, the coaster was down. In the meantime, Happy City and Seimico sought to fix this, but when no solutions were reached, decided to close it for good. They may have run a few test runs here and there in between though, but by 2017, it was indeed confirmed to have been scrapped along with the rest of the park, according to satellite imagery. And boom, that's kind of the end of the story of the weird compressed air launch coaster and Happy City. Or is it? Seimico technically still does list the model as in production on their website, so who knows, maybe another Chinese park will take a risk at some point, but it's pretty unlikely, and seeing as how this one turned out, I'm really not sure. Either way though, I think it's safe to say this has got to be one of the most intriguing coasters out there so far, and I'm so happy to have gotten the opportunity to share what little I knew about it with you guys today. It sure looked weird, so I'd be super curious to hear your guys' comments on it down below. Besides that though, that's really all I got to bring to the table today, so unless you all have any other questions, I'm probably just going to head on out. But of course, before you guys do that, please like and subscribe while you're at it, and I look forward to catching you all in the next video. Seriously, don't forget to subscribe. Until then though, we'll see you all there. See ya!